Hey everyone, it is Jack again with Toy Dojo, and today we are back to take a look at the Fans Toys FT-31B Magnum, or their take on a masterpiece Wildrider. This is Fans Toys' third release on their Stunticons line, and for those that don't know, or for those that do know, I'm going to say it anyways. I believe they named him Magnum after the old Magnum PI TV show. Because the main actor in there, who was Tom Selleck, used to drive a Ferrari 308 GTB, and that is exactly what Wildrider is transformed into. So Fans Toys always has a good knack for naming their figures after something that relates to it. So in this case, that car related to that Magnum PI TV show. And they just have a good knack for doing that. So I find it cool. I like to look at the name and then try and figure out where it came from. This one for me was super easy. So anyways, taking a look at the box right there. You can see this is a classic Fans Toys box. It's got all the Fans Toys stuff on it. And if you want to pause that and read that, go right ahead. But there's just a lot of product shots of the three figures they have released so far. And that's it for the box. If you notice, I have a new piece of hardware here. I just got married last Friday to my fiance of 4 years, so I'm very happy about that. I know we didn't come to talk about that, but that's brand new since the last time I made a review, so just want to talk on that real quick. So what does he come with? As Fans Toys fashion, he comes with an extra face, and on my last review, and it was on, I can't remember which one of the Aerobots it was on, but I was saying, man, when did they stop making those eyes that were real nice and pretty like? And on this one they put them. You can see he's got those nice and really pretty shiny eyes on him. So that's cool. I dig that. And this is the extra face that comes with it, kind of like a mad, maybe, I don't know, angry face. So that's the extra face you can change it out with. He also comes with, as always, a bio card right there. And then he comes with his instruction booklet right here, which the instructions aren't super bad, like the old movie Superbad. But there are some spots in here where it's just like you have to kind of guess what to do because they don't really do it right. So as we go through instructions, if I can remember those exact spots, I will let you know. This will be only my second time transforming him. I just got him in today, and he wasn't really difficult to transform. So I'm going to try and go through on my second try without looking at the instruction booklet, but we'll see how that turns out. He also comes with his blaster gun right here, and that's in like, so we'll see when you bring him in, but it's a dark gray, but it kind of looks like it has some kind of hints of like maybe a dark blue in there or something like that. So that's his gun. That's for robot mode, and that's for vehicle mode right there. So there's that. And enough about that. We'll bring him in. And just to let you know, you're going to be in for a little bit of a ride here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to compare him to a few figures. I'm going to compare him to the X-Transbots Flipout and the DX9 Henry, which are both their takes on a masterpiece Wildrider. So if you just want to go straight into him and find out about his transformation, the very first comment, I'm going to pin my own comment that's going to say, hey, if you want to go to that, here's the time to start looking at his transformation. So that way, if you don't want to hear about my thoughts on the other ones with him, then you don't have to. So anyways, there he is in front of us, and I think he looks pretty good. Fans Toys always does a great job making their figures look like they stepped out of the cartoon. And he's not an exception. There's a couple things that maybe aren't too accurate, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So first of all, let's just take a look at him. As you can see, he's got that nice glossy face with those nice purple eyes as well. All the paints on them are real nice. I will say this though about the silver here. It looks like, and you won't be able to see it on camera, but it looks like you can see where maybe a paintbrush was used. You can kind of see it right there. And you can see kind of streaks. So it's not really super smooth. But yeah, nonetheless, still looks nice. They got the translucent blue right there. And you can see there's some little things behind that as well. And just the red is really nice. And then this gray right here, this dark gray, like I said, for me, it seems like has some kind of a blue mixed into it at certain angles. Maybe it's just me, but it's like a dark gray, but it almost looks like There's some kind of a blue in it at certain angles. So nice color on him, nice translucent here, red right there with just some more like electronics looking things back there. And overall real nice. I love the rims. I love how they're nice and chromed out. So before we get the other guys in here looking, let's just kind of go through his motions. His head can move up. It can look up, and mine's kind of loose, like the head is. And it's by this little pin back here on the back, right there. It's a little loose, but nothing too bad. It holds up just fine. But he cannot look down, because obviously that runs into his chest piece, so that doesn't look down. But he can look all the way around, like so. The arms go out on a friction joint there. I'd say like on a medium ratchet right there, and they do go all the way around. It's a little stiff when you go back that way. That's probably just because he's new. And then he's got an upper bicep swivel, like this. He's got an elbow. I thought it was double jointed. Let me see if it is. No, I guess not. So he's got the 90-degree elbow bend right there. I don't care for this. We'll talk about that in a second. And then he's got full wrist rotation. And then the classic Fans Toys hand where he's got the thumb on a ball joint right there with no other motions in it. And then he's got two pins, one at this knuckle and one at that knuckle there for the fingers. Coming down, he does have a waist rotation, and it needs to be because it needs to be for transformation, so that's good. He's got a full waist rotation right there. He's got outward hips that are, again, just on friction right there. And that's about as far as I can get him out. I couldn't get him out any further than that, so that's about all you're getting on his outward motion right there. It won't go up any further than that. It's like this piece is bumping into right underneath that spot there by the hip skirts. So that's about all you're gonna get. If that bothers you, well, I don't know what to say. And he's got nice strong clickety ratchet going forward, clickety ratchet going backwards all the way. He's got the rotation at the hip joint. And then down on the knee, he's actually got double jointed knees. So he's got all the way up like that. And that's mainly for transformation, but it does give him that double jointed knee, which is cool. Coming down here to the feet, his feet do go all the way down, like so. They can come, that's the heel spur right there, but they cannot come like up. They do slide though, in and out. So if you pull it out, it goes up just a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of play right there. And that's for transformation as well, but you can get his feet so that way he stands up and he stands a lot better. And I mean, he holds his gun just like any other one would. Pop in his hand right there. He can hold it without even having to close his fingers around it. So that's neat. Okay, so what I don't like about robot mode. One is the mirror. I wish they could have figured out a way to kind of hide that mirror so that way it's not just hanging out on his forearm right there. I know, it was, I think, yeah, X-Transbots, theirs is hidden away, and so is DX9. Theirs is kind of hidden away, but here it's just kind of an eyesore just in his robot mode. So for me, I wish I would have done something about that, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know that they could. I'm sure they could. They probably could have figured out a way to transform it inside right here. So, but anyways, that's for me. It's one minor gripe. The other one, he's got a backpack. It's not ridiculous, really. I guess. I mean, you can see his whole windshield right here, and then the front section of the car right there. So it's a little bit of an eyesore if you're looking at it from this angle. Not super bad, but when you consider what Henry has done, the DX9 one, he's got no backpack, so they hid his away pretty well. So, all right, let's bring in the other two guys so we can discuss them. Well, actually, let's bring in some other bots just to kind of compare them with. So, as you can see, he's going to be a lot bigger than your typical Masterpiece vehicles in their robot modes. But I never have a problem with that because I think, like, if Megatron was making these guys to rival the Autobots, he would have made them bigger. But the car mode is almost the same as these, maybe just like a little bit bigger than their car modes, but they were able to pull off doing a larger robot and a car mode that almost matched this one here. So once we get into robot or car mode, you're going to see that. So there he is with him. here he is with his creator. Now mine is not the official Masterpiece Megatron, mine is the Infinite Transformation Megatron, but you can see just size comparison right there. I think it looks good together. Here he is with Sunstreaker, just because. And again, he makes Sunstreaker look small, but I think that's okay for me. Here he is with his one mate, and they are, let me see, I don't know if it's my table slanted. No, he looks a little bit bigger. He looks just a little bit bigger at the head right there, you can see. So, and bring in their boss, the boss. There's Road King right there. So these guys look pretty dang good together, if I must say. I can't wait for the other two to come out because, man, they're looking good. I had my issues with him, just the whole backpack thing on him. I didn't review him because I had a lot going on when he came out. But he's cool. I will say his transformation, because I just transformed him for the first time today. To me, his transformation was a lot more difficult than his was. His is pretty simple compared to his, and definitely be compared to his. So they look great together, though. I love the way they look, so I'm excited for the other two. Let's pull these guys out, and let's bring in who we're comparing him with. There is Flipout, and here is Henry. So as you can see, Henry and Magnum make Flipout look like a tiny little baby. But you know what? That's okay. Like I said, I think he was. I get it, right? That he's going to compare to that size right there. But I just felt like they should always have been taller. In a cartoon, there's certain angles where you can see they're about the height of next to Megatron, which is about that height right there. So I think that's just way too small. So I like this size, and I'm glad they were able to fit the car into the right size as well. So anyways, but that's your personal choice, your personal preference. So kind of looking at the three of them, these two guys, their companies went with white on the chest, and his is a silver actually. So I like that better. I think that's more tune accurate is the silver. Also tune accurate is the kind of colors right here. So that's always supposed to be a dark gray. Let me see if I can zoom in there. So that's always supposed to be a dark gray, and you can see that right there. It's a dark gray and then black. And that's white and then black, and then him as well is white and then black. So tune accuracy is this one right here. So you can put your little Decepticon logo right there if you want to. I think face sculpt wise, I believe, in my opinion, I think Fans Toys has a better looking face sculpt than the other two. So let's look at his. I think his antenna, now that I look at him, are a little bit too big for his face. It's got a nice shiny glossy red face though. His face just looks neat, man. Those eyes look freaking cool, especially under the light. And then taking a look at Henry's face. Henry's isn't bad, but just, you know, when you look at these figures for the first time, you're like, oh man, that looks great. Because I know I said that about him. But then when I look at him, I'm like, man, that looks really good. So I think just as we see them come along, you just kind of see how they progressively change and get better. So that's the one thing. Okay, I talked about the backpack, and I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but the backpack. So if we look at the backpacks here, he's got a little bit of a backpack here. His is just kind of worse because he's got the whole thing just kind of hanging off the side there. They were able to kind of hide his away. But his is the most streamlined. You can see like there's nothing there at all. Everything is hidden away. So I will say I would give him that right there. Henry's is that his backpack is just gone. So that's cool. I like that. I like the way they did that. But as far as yeah, I wish I would have done something there, because like this right here, and it doesn't fold away, that stays like that. So that just folds down like that. This piece stays here, and then that stays right there as well. So I wish I could have done something better here, but if you're looking at him from the front, it's no big deal. I do like the paint apps better on, yeah, lay down there, on Magnum better. They have a better use of their paints. They have better looking paints too. Like that red is really vibrant, and it's got some of those metallic flakes in there. So you've got nice metallic red with nice metallic flakes, metallic purple eyes. And these translucent blues right here are really nice. compared to just kind of like that drab blue right there. Which, I mean, I guess it's okay. It looks better on the camera than it does in person. At least my lighting, but it's like a metallic blue there. Now his are really drab. His are just painted with like just a basic. They tried to go with a metallic blue, but it just doesn't. You can see it in the light, but like looking at it head on, it doesn't look that way. So, and then the reds too. The reds are just kind of like blah on him. And then when you pick all three of them up, I mean, he has a good heft to him, more so than him, and they're the same height. So to me, the build quality is better with Fans Toys. They always have a better quality plastic, and then their use of die cast in their figure makes it just very strong and just very well put together. So for me, Fans Toys wins out on the three of these guys. Even though the backpack looks better on this guy than him, but just the use of the colors, in my opinion, the use of the metals and then the plastic, and then just the build quality is a lot better. These two are final products. This one is mine. This one actually belongs to Toy Dojo. I even forgot I had this one until I was looking around. I was like, oh, I gotta give this back to Toy Dojo. So, like, just the build quality. This is he's final, but you can see like right there, right? Like, he's pretty loose. His holds stiff, right? He holds pretty well too, and I didn't mean to spin that around, but I'm glad I did, because besides the mirror that I don't like, I like the way the forearms look. They're very clean. You can see his forearm looks clean. He's got this kibble of like the hood right there on the side of his forearm there. And then on the back of the forearm, he's got some kibble too. So you look at theirs, and theirs is a lot cleaner right there. Even theirs is a little bit cleaner than his right here. So just all things considered, I think they just went out just because of that. You know, I like it better when the figure looks like it stepped out of the cartoon. So, okay, what else there to talk about? I think that's it. Let's jump into transformation, because I know this is taking a long time. All right, starting off on transformation, you're gonna take the arm, rotate it up, and then you're gonna spin this arm around like so to where the red is facing you, and that is because you need to get this wheel well and spin it up. This piece here is actually locking that wheel well in place from actually moving. So what you want to do is just pop that open, spin the wheel well down like so, close that back up, and then just rotate the arm back the way it was, and then collapse it into the forearm, and then go ahead and make a fist on that. So close up the thumb, push the fingers down into a fist, like that, and then you're good. Same thing on the other side. We're going to rotate this one up, spin this around like this. That clears that up, pop this down, rotate this piece around, lock that back into place, spin the arm back around, push it down, fist on this side, just like so. And then now we're going to work on getting this head tucked away. So you're going to pull on this piece here. There's these two little grade tabs, one there and one there. I find just grabbing it right there, it's held in good, but it's not like super tight. So it's just a quick little pull. We'll get that undone. And the next thing it tells you to do in the instructions, it tells you to go ahead and just pull the head back. But I don't want to pull it back like this. It just says pull it back. But since it already leans that way, I find it easier to spin the head around like this and then pop this piece out, because that is pretty secure right there. That tab going into there is pretty secure. And it works two ways. Doing it that way, because now I got to spin, not the head around, but I got to spin this neck piece, which is what was tabbed in. So I got to spin that whole thing back around like so. That way I can sit this head inside that recessed area. So I take the head, push it all the way down inside, and that sits in there very securely, right down in there. Okay. So the next thing it says to do is to pull these out. And it just says to pull them out like regular, but it's kind of difficult to get in there and pull them out. So what I find easier is to take these, because we have to do this either way, and just pull these up out of the way on both sides. Right. Come on, man. Get over there, stupid. Oh, I was pulling on the hip skirt, no wonder. All right, pull that up, and now I can easily get these and pull these up, just like so. So take that one and rotate that up, and those are going to hang out like that. And then while I'm here, let's just go ahead and do this. we're gonna take these, and they're situated where this like flat piece, the bigger end of this, is sitting towards the back. The only way these are gonna rotate is they rotate inwards. So on this side, I gotta take that. I'm gonna rotate that in like this, just like that, and the same thing I do is I'm gonna take it and rotate that one in to cover his face, like this. And then on these pieces here, you're going to take them and you're going to open it up. And there's like a hinge, a double hinge right there. So you want to take that and just hinge it all the way around. So you're going to hinge it down, straight, and then hinge it one more time, like so. Same thing on the other side. So take it, hinge it out, hinge around, and then hinge it up, just like so. And then from there, we're going to take them and we're going to just fold them over into this little like U-shaped area here. Just fold that down, fold that down. These will sit up just like this. And we're getting there. So next thing we want to do is we're going to take the arms and they're going to actually tuck inside the waist. But before we do any of that, we want to rotate the body. Because if you don't, I don't believe they sit in there right. And then also for transformation of the legs, it wouldn't orientate right. So you got to rotate the whole waist so that way the front is now the back and vice versa. And then we come over here. We're going to take this little tab right here, this little piece, silver piece, and just flip it up onto his kind of waist right there, or chest area right there. And these arms are going to slide right inside there like this, and this whole gray area is going to close in as well. So the gray area is going to close in, the arms are also going to go in, and you're going to see up here, once I push the arms in, this place can be filled in with the shoulders right there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me back up just a little bit. Not that far. All right, let's go. So taking this, again, make sure the hands are in a fist, because that's the only way they're going to situate inside there, and then keeping them straight. So you take that, push them in like so. And the shoulders, you'll see what I'm talking about. The shoulders are going to start sliding in. So right there, you can see where that shoulder clicked in. I get the other one right there. So now both shoulders are in. Now I just got to get the hands in and the forearms. Slide them in just like that. And that slid in this whole piece right here as well. So that slides in. And you want to have it just like this. So that way everything is just pushed together just like that. Okay. Now we can put these back up. Now they can stay up. I just wanted to show you what it looked like as they went in. Next thing we're going to work on is getting this whole hood piece pushed over. So we pick this piece up like this. And these tab spots are going to go right over here. And then those two tabs are going to go underneath and tab into those spots right there. So we'll take that, pull this over, and just kind of situate this to where it's almost where it is flat like that. Come around. And then this needs to slide through. So this little bar needs to slide through these two pieces that we rotated. So as you push the arms in, they kind of push them back up out of the way. So you just want to make sure there's enough room in between those so that way you can slide that arm through. Okay. So once you do that, take that, just snap that down, bring this around, that tabs in right there, like so. And then this will tab in just like that. And now it's just a matter of just kind of flattening stuff out that may have moved. Now the front half is done. Onto the bottom half. So on the bottom piece, we're going to start by just folding the heel spurs in, and then folding in the back half of the foot onto the front of the foot. And then this foot is actually going to be, remember I told you there's like a sliding joint right there, you can see that. So you take that, slide it out, and do the same thing over here. So again, on the instructions, it says that you just lift this piece up like that. I tried and I was like, it's not moving. Then I looked and I noticed, and you can see it right there, that it's actually hinged. So there's the translucent piece right there that's hinged underneath that gray piece there. So you really just want to push on this window right here on the side while you're pulling out kind of the, what is that? Yeah, the back door. And that way you can pop this piece up, because if not, you may end up breaking that translucent red plastic. Let me show you. Come on, stubborn. There you go. So that's what I'm talking about, that piece right there. That lip holds onto there. So if you just yank it up like the instructions say, you may break it. So from here you take the foot, and this is going to end up flipping all the way over on top. So that'll flip over just like this. And you got to make sure that that little bar is pulled out. And then right here, this is going to sit down in there, but you got to make sure that this piece right here at the bottom, which is right there, that's got to be flush with this. So once you situate this down, like that, you just want to make sure it's pretty flush, just like that. So that way this can close back down, because if you don't, you won't get this thing to close back down. So from there we take it and just close it back down the same way we kind of pulled it up. Make sure you fit that right around there, just like that. So go on the other side, do the same thing. So you're going to take this piece, again push that window in, pop that piece out, flip the foot over, just like so, and then just make sure this thing is sitting relatively flush to the foot. Just like that, and you can see it better right there, that angle. So it's not super flush, but I mean it's straight, is what I really should have said. And then that way this will close back down and go underneath there and clip in. Alright, so now we're going to come on the inside of the leg, and we're going to flip these pieces up here. So do this side and then this side here. And then we're going to pop these knee joints up, just like that. And then you can open this up like this. So pop it up and open it up. Now on the instructions, you know, when you see yours, it tells you that this needs to slide up, but I'm like, it's already slid up. I can't slide it up anymore. In reality, it's supposed to be pushed down. So that way when it finally gets underneath the car, and I'll show you when we get it done, it's not going to be sticking out too far. So when I tried to push it, these were too tight, those two screws, so I had to loosen them up. So yours may be, so you may have to loosen them up just so you can slide that piece down. So just slide that down. Just like that. You can see where it slid inside right there. So do the same thing on the other side. Just take it and slide it down. Alright. Now again on the instructions it says at this point you're supposed to fold the leg. Well, I can't fold the leg, right? Oh, I got blurry there. But it says to fold the leg. Well, I can't fold the leg because it only folds back this way. It doesn't fold this way. So what you need to do is just pop this piece open right inside here, which is going to be the top part of this car right here. So you pop that open like that. And you're going to rotate this, which are the tail lights. You're going to rotate that all the way through right there. So just take, I use my thumb and forefinger here and just rotate that all the way through. So it comes out the other side like this, and you're just going to fit. It'll go all the way through. Just like that. That way that makes the back of the car right there, and then you can close this piece down like that. So do the same thing on the other side. Pop that open. Rotate this through. Rotate that all the way through just like so. So that lines up like that, and then close that back down. And then from here you can go ahead and snap these two pieces together. You'll notice that that tab's going to go on the bottom of that one and that one on top of that one. So take those pieces, snap them together like so. And then these here are just going to kind of leave these off to the side right now. Because what we have to do next is we got to get this and close this whole car up. So these two translucent red plastic pieces that are right there, they're going to go underneath right here. So it takes some doing. You got to make sure that like the knees are straight. I usually like to open these up here just to look at it. Sometimes I have to put my finger on those. But you got to just take that whole thing and just kind of work it together. Making sure that those translucent red pieces are clearing those pieces that are right here. You got to clear that because that's got to go underneath there. Okay, so clear that, go there. It may take a little work to do it. So you can see what I'm doing here. There you go, just like that. And then that snaps in right there. And then these pieces, I'm going to close those back up. Rotate that down and snap it in. So this is the part where I was saying that if in the instructions it said to make sure these were pulled out, if you did that, it would look like this. And then once it was snapped in, you're going to see it'd be sticking out like that. So in reality, the instructions had it backwards. You got to push them down. That way when they do snap in, they're tapped in on the right spot and not looking all goofy. And there is his vehicle mode. And it is a very, very nice Ferrari. I like it. Just got to make sure you go through and just push any pieces that look out of whack or out of sorts. But that was my second time transforming him. And like I said, he's not very difficult at all. So he's very nice. Hey, look at that. Everything hides away well. I love those tires. Those rims are nice. Rubber tires, beautiful. Everything hidden underneath, beautiful. Just super awesome, super clean. I love that. It looks great. The gun itself stores into that back windshield right there. So take the gun and just flip the handle. Whoa, and there went my camera. They did that last time. What? I need to get a new freaking camera stand. That's what I need to get. Okay, stay there. All right, so take that, flip it down, plug that in right there, and now you got his car all ready to go out and shoot some Autobots. So we're going to, you know what, actually, let's talk about this real quick, because these lights, okay, when I saw them, I thought like, hey, are those supposed to be LEDs? But there's no way the LEDs go in there, but then why are those like little holes inside there? So I wonder if they were thinking about putting LEDs to begin with, and then they just scrapped it at the end. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I just wonder, because it looks like there was some LEDs that were going to go inside there. It looks cool. I love the grill. I mean, again, beautiful, beautiful car. And it rose really well, too. So, all right. We're going to go ahead and get in. I'm going to transform all the other guys, bring them in, and then we can wrap this video up. I know it's been a long one, but there was a lot to talk about, and so I hope you stuck with me, and I'll see you in just a minute. Alright, now that we got them all transformed up, we're going to take a look at these three guys side by side, and then we're going to finish it off with Magnum's buddies, his other Fans Toys, Stunticons. So taking a look at the three of them, you got on the far left side is Henry, the middle is Magnum, and then on the right side is Flipout. I keep wanting to say spin out, flip out. So the first thing you're going to notice between the three of them, I mentioned in robot mode, is the colors. So again, I still think that Magnum has kind of a bluish gray hue to him, whereas Flipout is a light gray, and then Henry has that kind of dark gunmetal gray to them, or to him rather. Another thing you'll notice right away, and I'll zoom in, is if you look at Magnum right here on the back, it's nice and clean. His place for his gun is right there on the back of that back window there. So nice and clean right there. No other kind of openings there. Whereas here, he's got all these holes there, and he's got this one up here on top. And then he's got that hole right back there on the bottom. So to me, he wins out on that in terms of like the cleanliness on the vehicle mode. And then the headlights, I like their headlights that they flip up versus his doesn't. So to me, them two win out over him. But I think he wins out overall on the headlights, the way they look, because when you look at these are nice and clear, right? Just like I mentioned. And then his are just painted on silver. So, and then the rest of them, and I told you I thought about these here at the bottom, and then they're painted on there. So looks clean. He doesn't have that break in the middle right there like he does. So he looks cleaner up in the front right there by the front grille. And then his headlights, again, are painted. This is all just kind of a mess right here with all the different brakes inside there. So, but not to say he doesn't have any, because he's got a lot of brakes too. So in terms of like the paint jobs, let me shut these down. I do like the paint job better on Magnum and Flipout than I do on Henry. So for Henry, the paint is nice, but when we get down to this red stripe, it's just kind of like a bland red stripe right there. It's nothing too spectacular. It's just like a matte red. When you come over here, he's got a nice shiny metallic red stripe going down there on Flipout. And then when we get to Magnum, he's got a nice metallic red as well, but he's also got like those little red flakes going on inside there. You can see that along with his gray right there, or bluish gray, whatever you want to call it. And then I do like his rims better than the others. That nice chrome rim is really cool. I also like the detailing they took where they punched out those pieces next to that little star. They did the same with him right here, but his are just a silver. And with his is just molded all in one piece. And I don't know if that kind of like goldish bronze is cartoon accurate or toy accurate. I don't remember. If you remember, let me know. Comment down below. These two guys, they do better on the windshield pieces. So like you can see, if you didn't know those are robot bits, you wouldn't be able to tell what they are. But clearly on his, you're able to see the robot head right inside there. So they did better on that. He does better by hiding his mirrors inside robot mode versus those two guys. Really horrible on him. I don't like the way they run his arm, but you know, it is what it is, right? So going down to the bottom of the vehicles, you can see that Fans Toys hit everything a lot better. There's no robot bit seen besides the chest piece, but I mean all three of them show the chest. But over here, Henry's got his arm showing and he's got his head showing. Over here, Flipout's got his arm showing and his hands. So Fans Toys wins out on that one right there. And in terms of like just overall size, you can see that Henry is just a little bit bigger than Magnum is, and Magnum is just a little bit bigger than Flipout is. So to me, I think he's that happy medium between the both. I think he was just a little bit too big in his vehicle mode to match the MP cars, and he just fits just right. Yeah, he was right as well, but I thought like because they couldn't figure out how to get his robot mode bigger, that's why he wins out, because his robot mode is big, but he was able to compact into a smaller vehicle, which is nice. What I think that the other two guys do better than Fans Toys is kind of the back here. So the one thing that I wish Fans Toys would have done, they gave us some nice rims, but then they leave the tailpipes just the color of the car. So I thought it'd have been nice if they'd have made that a chrome tailpipe. You can see they're painted like a nice gray, silver color. Same thing over here, but his, not so much. They all have the brake down the back right there in the middle, but he's got the brake right in the yellow tail lights, whereas they don't, and they don't either. So again, it's probably just nitpicking on my part, but just pointing things out. And let me see. I think that might be it for comparison with these guys. Not much more to talk about besides that. So I'm going to roll these two out. We're going to bring in my G2 Sideswipe just for comparison sizes. And I wish I owned one. I wish I owned both of these cars, but I don't know if that's like an accurate size. Like I don't know if they're supposed to be this big of a difference in their vehicle mode, like true vehicle modes. Like if we really had a Lamborghini and really had this Ferrari, would that be the size difference? You can see he's longer and he's a little bit taller too right here. So I don't know if that's true or not. But when I pull him out and I bring in his buddy, you can see he's also bigger than him in his vehicle mode. So Fans Toys kind of line them up to be the same size, obviously in their own line. So maybe that is true to the size. I don't know. If you do know, let me know in the comments below. And let me bring in the big mother trucker right here. And we can look at these guys just side by side. I mean, they're looking really, really cool. I love the look of these guys. I knew I was going to love it. I mean, Fans Toys puts out some really good stuff. I know not everybody's a Fans Toys fan. And they think there's issues with Fans Toys. I'm not saying they're perfect, but they put out some really awesome stuff. Anyways, I know that Magnum is right now sold out on Toy Dojo's website, but I'm still going to put a link in the description below in case you want to go in there and see if they get a restock on them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to see anything else, let me know, and I can try and get it to review. Please like this video. It doesn't take but a second to hit up there and hit the little thumbs up button. And that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, until next time, stay safe.